Hello, everybody, and welcome to What Were We Talking About Again? The only podcast on the internet that can wash a spoon without getting backsplashed. I'm your host, Jake, and at my 3 o'clock is one member of the Romano clan and world-renowned physicist, Raymond.
Hello, I'm Raymond.
Alright, and at my 9 o'clock is the parasitic fetus of the East, anime fan, Hamilton enthusiast, Robert.
Hey, what's up?
Alright, so do you guys want to give yourselves some actual introductions? Because, believe it or not, Ray is neither Ray Romano from Everybody Loves Raymond, nor is he a world-renowned physicist.
Yes, I'm Raymond. I'm a nerd in college. And that's
I think
my roommate.
we're all nerds in college.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I'm Robert Crimmy. Everything you said about me was kind of true. Hamilton, an anime enthusiast, pretty spot on.
Yeah, I know you're into Hamilton, and I knew you were into anime too. I guess I just was saying random things, but I subconsciously actually described you. Crazy. Anyway, this podcast is called, what were we talking about again? As you may have... Okay, so listeners, the two people next to me have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
Allow me to explain to both them and any new listeners out there. So what it is we start with some sort of topic, and I'll explain what we start with in a minute. We talk about it for 15 minutes. Wherever the conversation goes, it goes. But at the end of the 15-minute interval, we have to switch topics to the last word or phrase that we said during the last interval.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we end up talking about some weird stuff sometimes, but I think I always somehow pull together a good discussion out of it. And the way I've decided to start choosing the starting topics, since I'm in college, is I want to have a story every week to share. So this week, the story I'm going to share is about something that's near and dear to my heart. It's about games, but more specifically about the game of chess. So I'm going to tell a story about the chess club at the school, and if you want to, or whoever is starting the timer, yeah, set it for 15 minutes. We do 4 of them. It ends up being an hour long, plus whatever. We sometimes mess around at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Yep. And start it. Okay, so chess club. I think there was one in our high school. We're all from the same high school, by the way. And I never joined it. I've always been interested in getting better at chess, though. So obviously college, you get a lot more free time than you do in high school. And in addition, I also have very few classes compared to other people. So that means I have even more free time.
Okay.
So I need to get involved in some clubs or do something to keep myself busy. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to join the chess club. Let's see what happens. I go in the chess club and everyone there is super nice, and I play like 3 games. I get whooped every single time. But, you know, that's just the nature of the beast. I feel like I'm starting to learn to hold my own. I've gone to a couple meetings now. However, the first time I went, I encountered this kid with a hoodie on, and he was Asian, and he was very like mysterious. So basically, like straight out of an anime, I started playing this game against him, and the way he grabs his pieces, I don't know if he was trying to like intimidate me or what, but he like grabbed them with his entire palm and slammed them down like when he wanted to capture one of my pieces. He definitely knew exactly what he was doing, because I would like move my piece, and before it even touched the game mat, he would have already moved his. He's an experienced player, knows exactly what he's doing, and he whooped me in a couple turns. I'm not my proudest moment. However, at least it was a good player, not some bad player that I lost against in that way.
Sure.
So, I guess anyone wants to shoot off of that, you're more than free to. Have you ever encountered anyone who went super tryhard and all anime-like in any activity that you've participated in?
Any activity? I can't say that I've ever seen someone go like anime like, but there are some people that go pretty hard in like gym and physical education.
Oh my
but,
gosh, yeah.
Like,
You always have those athletic kids,
yeah,
the student athletes.
they pull like trick shots and shit. Like,
Yeah, and it's like soccer, and they'll be trying to do rainbows over the girl who doesn't even want to participate. She's just
Yeah.
sitting there with her arms crossed, got a rainbow around her.
And they actually try on the warm-ups. Like, who actually does that? Oh my god.
I try on the warm-ups only because that's the only like useful part of gym.
Yeah, it's true. Like,
Right.
Like you always got to do whenever you get an excuse to, you got to do some push-ups.
you have to get some exercise.
You have to get a little bit swole, not
Yeah.
that swole, but minorly so. And gym, I feel like, is a huge waste of time
Yes.
because I mean what?
Oh, speaking of
Do you have
the
a-
gym, well, he made a promise
I
about
did
2
not
years
promise.
ago
I did not promise.
that he would go to the gym every day during the summer if I went. And I started
Okay.
going every day, and I was like, hey, when do you want to join in? And whatever happened to that?
It costs too much money, and I did not have the transportation for this.
Listen, I'm gonna let
Not
you.
dedication.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. You don't need a gym to work out. All you need is the floor. You got
Yeah,
push-ups,
that's true.
you got sit-ups, you got squats. Basically, all the key muscles you have right there.
I'm too lazy
Arms, abs, and butt. That's all you need. Your legs, I guess you could be creative with that. Maybe fill some milk jugs with sand and do that.
Yeah, guess so.
Was it sand?
Yeah. Do you ever read Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Oh,
Or, like
yeah.
one of them, yeah.
Yeah, where he decides he wants to work out like Robert did, and he did it like once, and it was his friend working out, and he was like tormenting him.
Oh god.
Remember Rowley from Diary of a Wimpy
Mhm.
Kid? Oh man,
So,
I saw a very convincing video by Mumkey Jones, funny channel. You should check it out. But he's convinced me that Greg Heffley is a sociopath in that book series, and it actually makes a lot of sense. Like he'll act and he will not empathize with any other people at all. All he cares about is getting more popular and becoming famous, and he has illusions of grandeur. I don't know if you guys took psychology, but or if you remember that from psychology. You
I
took
never
it, right?
No, I
did
never
you?
took
I took AV Psych and passed it. What were we talking about?
Greg Heffley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
No clue.
All right, so you guys obviously aren't as intimately familiar as I am, but I remember the first 4 books, like every night I would read all of them for a good, like in 6th grade, every night I would just stay up reading them.
They were
And
really
I-
popular.
So basically the whole stories are stapled to the back of my mind. Like I remember the whole Greg and Rowley were supposed to like guide these kindergartners like to the bus stop or something, and then Greg bullied them, but he was wearing Rowley's coat, and then some witness saw and thought it was Rowley, so Rowley got in trouble.
Oh my god.
Isn't that so messed up?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't like speak up for your best friend. It was supposed to be his best friend. Isn't that that's messed up? That's
Yeah.
sociopathic behavior right there. Case
Yeah.
A, evidence.zip.
Dots. Not even one.
Not even one.
I
What-
remember when they used to have book fairs based off of Diary of the Wimpy Kid. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
The
great.
book fairs, like they were so like exciting to go to, but I never got anything. Like.
Oh yeah, I would like go to them and buy 0
Mhm.
because I wouldn't bring. I would like forget to bring money or something,
Yeah, same.
and I would see those like plug and play like Frogger arcade sticks, and I would want them because who doesn't want to play a little Frogger?
Yeah, it's true.
And also there was like a SpongeBob one at one point where you would
Really?
like it was his nose. His nose was the stick.
God, I had
That's a
like
little odd.
I did have one of those, but I don't think I got it at like a book fair or anything. I don't know.
They're cool. They're very
They are.
cheap. They're basically like buying a game, except you don't need the console to
Mhm.
start. They're probably more expensive than they need to be, even though they're already so cheap, simply because of how cheap it probably is to make one. What
Yeah.
do you man, arcades, isn't it crazy how they've gone from the most profitable thing ever to nobody's ever in them
Yeah, like
because of home consoles?
hmm
I mean, we were there like
we
this last summer.
in the summer we went at least once, or did we go twice? I don't remember.
We
but-
didn't even play with the arcades. We were just playing with the pool
and air hockey.
table and air hockey.
Air hockey
Yeah, that's
got
how it normally
intense.
goes. Because an arcade game, like, you can't dedicate yourself to it as much as you can a game you have on your console. But back in the day, like, people often didn't have home consoles, so they would go to the arcade, they would spend like $50 worth of quarters on the same game. They would get good as hell at it, so each quarter brought them more value.
Man.
And everyone was happy. The companies made a lot of money, the person playing had a lot of fun, and people actually got good at the video games that they spent money on, which
Pac-Man pros back in the
yeah, not even
Just
exactly.
a lot of games, but yeah.
And nowadays, like, games are allowed to be easy because they're supposed to be more audio-visual experiences than actual games that challenge you.
Yeah.
Although, if Cuphead is any indication, you know, that's not entirely true. Do you know about this?
Yeah, when the reviewer was trying to get up to
so
the...
this guy, Dean Takahashi, he was playing the game Cuphead, which is like it's almost like Contra. It's a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. And he couldn't even, like, pass the tutorial for a solid, like, 3 minutes.
It was
It was
hilarious.
painful to watch. And then someone put the clip of him trying to pass the tutorial over, like, next to a pigeon
I saw
solving a
that.
puzzle. And the pigeon did it faster.
Oh man.
That's
yeah,
really
I saw
bad.
that on
That's
Reddit,
hard.
and it was great.
Honestly, I feel like maybe the problem isn't the game developers, it's the journalists who they're not on the same wavelength as the people who actually buy and use games.
Yeah.
So they'll focus more on, like, the story, how good is the story, or the theme's good, but that's not what makes a game great. You look at any of the great games in history, Pac-Man, Tetris, Super Mario Bros., they never had great stories,
Mhm.
and they didn't even have, like, the best graphics of their time either, really. I guess you could argue for Pac-Man, but that's only arguable at best.
Honestly, those are the best games. Nowadays, you gotta pay for part of the story and the next story
Yeah, oh
and
my
the next
God, the
story and the
DLC.
next story.
Honestly, if I wanted a story, I would just read a book or watch an anime.
Alright.
That's true. Like,
I actually haven't watched anime in, like, a year.
it's been a couple months for me.
you
Well,
sure
except for
about
the
that?
ongoing, but
What are you watching right now?
Boku no Hero Academia.
I watched.
You mean
I watched
My
it with
Hero
them.
Academia?
Yeah, My Hero
Like
Academia. season
macadamia
2.
nut?
Oh, sure.
Macadamia.
There was,
Never thought of that.
you know those alignment charts where it's like chaotic, neutral, and
Mhm.
yeah, there was one for what you call My Hero Academia, and at the bottom right, chaotic evil was macadamia. Is that any good or?
It's very season 2 is
very
really
good.
good.
What's that anime everyone's been talking about on my Twitter with the Toblerone in it? Do you have any
I
idea?
have no
I have no-
idea.
Okay, I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna find out, and I'm gonna annotate this into the upload.
Okay.
But yeah, the meme world has been pretty crazy recently. Have you heard of the monkey haircut memes?
I don't think so. Actually.
All right,
what's
so
that?
basically it'll be a picture of somebody, and then there's this video of a monkey getting a haircut. It's actually a macaque, but that's besides the point. It's pretty funny video. However, they Photoshop a screen cap of it into other pictures, so it looks like people are giving the monkey the haircut themselves. So, like, there's this image of Rambo giving a monkey a haircut.
Oh God.
It's, like, way funnier than it sounds, I promise.
They always need that Rambo picture, make it look super intense.
Yeah. And, that was combined with the, I had to do it to him guy. You know that guy standing on the sidewalk with his arms folded,
I
and
think
he's
I've
like
seen
all
it.
preppy looking.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, I think.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with anything I'm talking about, just Google search it. You'll find out. But yeah, that's it's basically been Twitter recently. I haven't spent much time on Twitter as I would like because college.
Yeah, that's true. Like,
homework been taking up a lot of time for you guys, or not really that much?
For me, it was really just kind of like procrastinating it and then doing it all in one night where it'll take like 5 hours and then it's like done after that. But I don't know.
I'm just glad homework is due at like 12 online now, so I don't actually have to rush it on my way to school, on the bus. Before I
Yeah,
leave.
so true.
After I wake up, before the class, in the hallway.
I don't know. Sometimes that's worse. Like sometimes in high school, I would stay up like really late at night, and then wake up 2 hours later and do the homework. And I can't do that now, so I have pressure to finish it by midnight.
Yeah.
Which I guess is healthier for my sleep schedule, but it's not healthier for my me schedule. You know what I'm saying?
My sleep schedule is really bad right now.
Right now it is.
Yeah.
I have 8:40 classes 3 times a week, so like even if I tried to get off schedule, I'd had to get whipped right back into shape for those.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Although I guess I could pull an all-nighter and go to class and then go to sleep once I'm done with class.
Do that on Fridays.
Yeah, on Fridays, because on Fridays I only have 1 class, and then the whole rest of the day is free. So it, and basically on Thursday I only have 1 class too, and it starts later in the day, so I get to sleep in a little bit. Essentially, the weekend starts on Thursday for me.
Nice.
So it's pretty nice. Second semester probably isn't going to be so hot though, because I'm going to be taking a normal amount of classes. All my AP stuff is kind of wearing off.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that gave me a lot of leeway for my schedule. That's why I'm taking so little.
Mm-hmm.
What are you in School of Arts and Sciences?
No, I'm in School of Engineering.
Oh. You are?
Yeah, I don't have to take physics or chemistry.
Oh,
Which are the-
that's like
which are the big
chemistry and
ones. I
physics.
That's like half the class.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't have to take any labs at all. The only classes I have are Calc, MATLAB, Intro to Logic, which is just an elective, Intro to Engineering, which doesn't count as a class, because what is that? You literally go to the lecture hall, listen to someone speak about their field in the school for an hour, and most people aren't interested because they're not going into that field.
Yeah.
So I don't
Which
know.
reminds me, that class actually hosted this thing in like a stadium where they tried to do the most jumping jacks in the world. in
Oh
one place.
yeah, I heard
But
about
except
this.
they only had half the amount of people they needed, which was about 1,500. They only had 700.
Oh no.
And it was really anticlimactic.
So the timer just went off, if you guys couldn't hear, and it went off on the word 700. So we're gonna have to talk about something regarding 700. So if you want to start the timer again. 700 reminds me of 300, the movie.
Yeah.
That's a good segue. This is Sparta. Oh man, it brings me back. It really
One of the
does.
most iconic
I spent
lines.
way too much time watching YouTube poops back in 2008-ish. And Spartan remixes, there were actually most of them are pretty high quality, I gotta say.
Oh my god. Really? Like, I
Yeah.
don't think I ever saw them, so I don't.
Yeah, I really don't have any clue what you're talking about.
Oh my god. I feel like I'm very well versed in
You
internet
are.
history from 2006 onwards.
I missed out on
Like
that.
obnoxiously so. Because nobody knows what I'm talking about most of the time when I talk about stuff
Older
from
stuff,
yeah. What are the earliest internet trends you guys remember?
Trends?
Yeah.
Trends, the earliest.
Like, and I don't mean like Charlie bit my finger, because that's just one video, but I'm talking about like trends that a bunch of people made videos about or relating to. Do you remember the CDI Mario and Zelda cutscenes?
Nope.
Jeez, what are you even talking about?
Oh my gosh, dude, you guys missed out on the most legendary part of YouTube history. Honestly, everything from that point onward was like trying to reclaim the lost magic of the YouTube poop CDI cutscene era, and it never worked.
Oh god.
Although now we have like vloggers, Jake Paul.
Oh my god, it's
Logan
terrible.
Paul. Yeah, you say it's terrible, but and it is. It's very low effort, non-creative. But I mean, if the 13-year-olds are watching it,
Yeah.
what can speak louder than numbers? Nothing.
It's true. Like
True.
they're making money, so like.
Yeah, the market is deciding essentially,
Mhm.
and that's how it's supposed to function. So
Yeah.
I gotta hand it to the Paul brothers, even though they're the worst people ever. They really knew how to succeed and find their audience. Now a bunch of people made videos about them criticizing them, but that made it worse
Yeah, made them
because
more
now
popular.
yeah, exactly.
You just have to start that drama and it'll become viral instantly.
No, that was 2016. It's 2017. Get with the times.
Oh man.
I just like don't see the appeal of them. Like.
Oh
I
shoot,
don't
you know, I was talking to my friend about like, what if I had kids? Wouldn't that be freaking awful? And I was like, yo, could you imagine just having a little Jake Pauler running around?
Oh my god.
Because that's what I call all little kids now, Jake
It's
Paulers.
basically what they are.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, now I could title this episode "Jake Paul Gets Roasted" and put Jake Paul in the thumbnail
And you guys
get a
get
billion
ton,
views.
yeah.
I wish.
What do you mean? I wish this is gonna work.
Yeah.
Watch.
That's how it's
So my peak for this podcast so far is 40 views, I think, on one episode. This episode is gonna have at least 100 because of Jake Paul. I
Jake
mentioned him in the title.
Oh my
clickbaited.
god. Yeah, the clickbait.
Could you imagine clicking on a Jake Paul gets roasted video and it's just this?
Yeah. You have to wait until it's like 18 minutes in to hear the name. Jake
Yeah,
Paul.
exactly. It's a video all about Jake Paul except for the other 59 minutes.
Yeah.
Clickbait's pretty good, honestly. Like there's an art to it. A lot of people
Kinda.
say it's not good practice, but it's really smart. Like the way
Yeah,
they
like-
make you click on things.
Because it is smart, because obviously it gets you more views and stuff, but like, kind of cheap. A cheap tactic, but.
I've seen
Well,
everything.
Yeah, but I don't find the problem with it. The only thing I don't like is when the clickbait says something and then that thing isn't in the
Mhm.
video or article you clicked on. But I don't think a lot of people explicitly lie when they clickbait. I think they just make things sound more exciting than they actually are.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I just don't find it as exciting as the other people who clicked on the video. Maybe it's like
Mhm.
super hype, like college parties, and I just don't understand.
I mean, all you really have to do is put something NSFW on the thumbnail, and everyone would click on it, no matter what.
Oh
it is.
no, I'm definitely adding the NSFW. I'm adding savage.
Yeah. Just like the fire emoji.
Oh,
Yeah, the
yes.
flame emoji. The thumbnail has to have a red circle in it with an
Uh-huh.
arrow. Those are the tactics, man. You gotta. I mean, I'm just starting out. I gotta start like that.
Yeah.
There's no other
You
way.
gotta rack up views somehow.
Yeah, and then once people start coming, that's when I level up on it and I
Once the
start
money
being a
comes
little more
in.
honest. I'm not positive I'll ever start making money on this. As great as it is, my stuttery, obnoxious voice talking about random subjects for hours on end. As great as that is, I'm not sure if it's ever gonna make money.
Never
However,
know.
if you guys want to tweet out this video, share it with your friends.
Post it on
Uh,
Instagram.
If you like what I'm doing, it would really actually help me get to that point. Honestly, I'm a dreamer. I feel like I could definitely do it if I really tried and put it out every week like I'm supposed to. Last week I missed an episode because nobody wanted to co-host. So I'm glad you guys came through this time. I think I have a co-host lined up for the next 2 weeks,
Oh, nice.
so that's not gonna be an issue.
Good.
Yep. Honestly, I could always cop out and make an episode of This Is What We're Talking About, the spin-off.
What's
It-
that?
Do I want to know?
Yes, you do want to know. It's basically, go check it out if you haven't yet. It's me talking about one subject in an intelligent, pre-written way for 15 to 20 minutes. And it's a lot, honestly, it's a lot better than this podcast, if I had to be completely honest.
More work goes into it. like-
Yeah. It takes me longer to make that 20-minute script than it does to record this and then edit it and upload it.
Yeah.
All combined.
'Cause
So
it's just like off the top of your head. You're not like.
yeah, exactly. It's low effort, just like Let's Plays. It's this channel is basically a Let's Play channel, minus the play.
Yeah, there's no
Just
gameplay.
It's all talking.
I've seen some pretty interesting things, like on your channel when you had that one thing where you just criticized Kesha, I think that's what you did.
Oh, the Kesha lyric analysis, my magnum opus. Honestly, I go back and rewatch that video from time to time, and I don't know how I came up with such a great video. It astonishes me how good that video is. Go watch it if you haven't. It's called Kesha Lyric Analysis. My regular channel is Jake Siri. If you guys really wanted to know, you can go find it. Subscribe to this channel. Share the link.
Channel.
Yeah, just sub. Just like the videos. Comment what you thought, and maybe I'll respond to you. I don't know. We could do like one of those things where at the beginning of every episode we go over some comments that I got.
Comment section like bit.
Yeah, and then that would be like one little segment, and then we do the 4 segments and then the closings. That makes it more like an hour and 20 minutes of a podcast instead of just an hour. So if you guys comment, you're gonna hear my voice for longer? ? Maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't know. I don't know if people really want that. I'm being very self-deprecating right now. I think this podcast is actually pretty good, if I'm being completely honest with myself.
So far, self-deprecating humor is the best kind of humor, so it's all good.
No, the key is in the co-host. I feel I need someone to bounce off of a little bit, and last week's episode, I had an amazing co-host who basically carried the whole show.
Who was it?
It was my friend Siraj. I definitely recommend that episode. It was really good, really funny, and very thought-provoking as well. Yeah. I knew you guys were a little bit on the shyer side, so I decided to bring both of you on. I think when I'm not positive that a co-host is going to be off the wall, excellent, full of energy, I should bring 2 on.
Gotcha. It makes sense.
No offense to you guys. Like, I'm not
true,
saying you're...
So...
yeah.
We both had no clue, honestly.
I should have told you guys at least what it was.
It's okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
We could have looked into it.
I guess if you really... Yeah. Do I have it linked to my main channel? Like on the side, other channels to follow?
I don't know.
Well, obviously, I'm asking myself the question. But yeah, so we were talking about podcasts, but how did we start talking about this? The topic was 700. Let's talk about that a little more. 7 times 100.
100%.
The square root of it is 10 squared root of 7.
Oh.
I love rationalizing square roots. It's my favorite thing to do in math.
Really?
Yes.
That was the worst for me.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
Remember, I'm still in pre-calc. Somehow. I don't even know how, alright? I took calc senior year of high school, right? And then somehow they still placed me in pre-calc just because you're in the engineering section. Like, they're treating you like, oh, you should take this again just because you don't truly know it yet when everyone else taking other schools.
Did you take AP?
Do. No, I didn't.
Okay, that's your issue then. No wonder. And did you take the math placement thing?
Yeah, I did. I got placed calc, but they placed me pre-calc because it was an exception for engineering students.
That's stupid. Why would they even make you take that?
Wait, did it have
if they didn't? No, I'm in Calc too.
Alright, I'm a little mad now.
But I took AP Calc is the thing.
Yeah.
Did you get 4 or 5 on the test?
I got 5.
Nice.
Obviously, it's Calc. There's one right answer.
Yeah, that's true. I just didn't study.
I mean, I guess you could hypothetically say that for all the subjects, but you know what I mean. Like, there's one way to get an answer. It's not flippy floppy. It's not soft like other subjects.
I've never heard somebody describe it as soft. I don't know why.
Really? You don't know about the softness of a science? Like, math is the hardest, physics is softer than that, and then biology is softer than that. Or chemistry is between the two. My bad, I missed it. And then after biology, it's like psychology, sociology, and, you know, that stuff in that vein. Those are all really soft, which means they have a lot of human interpretation. They're not as math based.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like,
It's
it makes sense. I just
It's a whole
never heard it.
spectrum of what you're working with.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Soft sciences, I'm not a fan of those. Not gonna lie.
Didn't you say, weren't you interested in psychology though, or no?
I thought it was a cool idea for a class, but the actual class disappointed me as far as like the actual material goes. It wasn't very interesting. A lot of what I learned was basically stuff that only applies to most people and not me. So I feel like I didn't like click with it as much as other people do.
I mean, a lot of the class was history too, which kind of bored me. I was a little disappointed from that because you just had to like go back and learn all those things that happened.
That's not even a science.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Although historians do have a pretty cool job, and it is very fact based. There's not as much room for interpretation as you might think, because they need evidence to back up their claims. Obviously, if you're trying to keep accurate history, you need some sort of. There's a lot of guesswork, too.
Yeah, to like connect the dots. That, like,
Yeah, but we know how humans work a little bit. We can connect the dots pretty confidently. It's not. Obviously, there's some misconceptions that we have about history that are completely wrong, but a lot is right. I definitely think. Although maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Because obviously the moon landing wasn't real, right?
Oh yeah, the moon landing? There's no way, dude. Look in the background. There are no stars.
There's nothing.
And how did the flag wave in the wind? There's no wind on the moon.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite moon landing theory is that it was actually a soundstage on Mars.
Yo, that would be great if they just revealed that one day, like, oh yeah, we forgot to tell you.
We were actually on Mars during the moon landing. Space race? Oh man, I kind of wish I was alive to experience that whole era, because it was very anti-communist. I don't like communism personally. Not to offend any communists out there, but come on, like 8 million people have died just in Russia alone.
It's true, Russia, like, and now we have so many ties with Russia.
Jeez, are we really gonna end on communism?
Oh no!
Just for future reference, don't look at the clock. The whole idea is that it's more spontaneous, but it's okay. It's only a one-time offense. You're good.
3 strikes and you're out. You have to leave the room.
Yeah.
I thought I was trying to keep track of you guys. All right, I'm not gonna look at it.
No, it's okay. No, just don't specifically check it to see how much time is left.
I only check it when we're on an interesting topic, just to be like, oh, we're gonna land here. That'd be really fun.
Oh yeah.
You wanted to land on communism?
Yeah.
We wanted to land on the moon too.
Yeah,
we did that
true.
in 1969.
Okay, there we go.
1969.
Oh, I can't even think of anything.
I can listen.
Oh, you
know the
Story.
summer of 1969?
Summer?
The summer of 69?
Oh, wait.
Summer of 69.
Oh my god.
Alright, fun fact about that song. That guy would have been 8 years old during the summer of 69. So it's
Really?
definitely not actually like a significant year for him. He just wanted the 69 pun.
What? Really?
Wait, when
Yeah.
was that song made?
1980 something, I think.
Was the 69 pun really like that?
I think it was a thing since like
old?
forever.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah.
It's a very intuitive name for a sex position.
I just never thought about it.
Like, do you think people invented 69ing in 2008 or something?
No, but like, I don't know.
I can see where you're coming from, because, like, a lot of, like, the 531-8008 type thing. If you type it in a calculator, upside down,
Oh my.
it's
Yeah.
Back
in like 4th, 5th grade, it happened all the time.
I could imagine something like that took a long time to discover, but yeah, 69. You know what else it is? I feel like when people think about history and culture, they conflate when they found out about things with when everyone found out about things, and it's really weird. So if you go to like a 90s kid Facebook page or whatever, they'll be like, kids today will never experience recess.
What?
Because, no, it's weird. They stopped experiencing recess, so therefore they automatically assume that nobody's experiencing recess anymore,
Mhm.
which is pretty cray.
Yeah.
And it's like, how egocentric do you have to be to think that kids nowadays don't have recess all of a sudden?
Yeah, like,
Because it's not the 90s anymore.
True.
because when I was a kid, we had recess up until what, like 8th grade? Like, even
Yeah,
though
we
in
did.
7th, 8th grade it wasn't much, but it was
Oh, yeah, no.
something.
Yo, people got like hella makeout sessions in 7th and 8th grade during recess.
Just, I never really thought of or like noticed.
I completely missed out on it too then.
Alright, I guess I'm the only one looking out for these things.
Jeez.
Jeez.
I don't even know what I did during recess. Should we just stand in a circle and talk?
Remember in
Like-
5th grade when we would accidentally stay out for recess too long and miss GT?
I
And we
remember.
almost got kicked out because of that?
Yes.
Also, I remember there was this little like bolt or something that we would like flick around and we called it the rolly thing and then we lost it.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. I
Fifth
remember
grade
a
was
lot
weird.
from 5th grade for no reason at all.
Pretty sure one day for recess I brought in like a super bouncy bar or something that would just go like
You
15,
did! And you're
20
like,
feet in the air.
you excitedly shouted, "Super bouncy ball!" every
Yeah.
time you bounced
Oh my
it.
God. I can actually imagine that.
Great.
Oh man,
Like,
Super
it's-
Balls are super awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing. I loved it.
It takes very little force to make them bounce really high.
I might have donated it to like the class or whatever. Like, didn't she have like a stash of like balls and stuff that she would bring out to recess? Or-
I don't know. I forget. Miss Catelli.
Mhm.
I remember all
Wait.
my teachers.
List them 1 through 12 right now.
Alright, so kindergarten was Zampa. 1st grade was Cortellessa. 2nd grade was Walton. 3rd grade was Lumpkins. 4th grade was Fitzgerald. 5th grade Catelli. 6th grade Jones. 7th grade McKelvey. 8th grade Martin. And then the
Yeah.
last like couple years I was doing homeroom teacher. I remember some of my other ones, but honestly not all of them.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. And then high school, I mean, we didn't really have homerooms, so I can't zero in on any one
Every
teacher.
single teacher.
Yeah, I would have to name 16 different teachers.
Yeah.
Or not 16. Hold up. 8 classes per -3 because the one study hall I took and then the repeat teachers. No, it's actually -4. Okay, so it would have been like 28 teachers.
Really? Was there really that many?
Jeez. I
I never thought about it.
don't think I can remember that many names.
I can't even remember the people who live next door to me.
No, we don't know like any of our neighbors.
You need to, you know what, my old friend group did? They baked cookies for everyone on the floor and they got to know
Really?
people that way.
Oh man, I wish we did something nice other than make our room smell.
We didn't make it smell though. It was like that.
I don't know, maybe you're contributing.
There's literally mold in the corner.
That's so gross. You need to, did
had
you
to be
tell
my
someone?
Yeah, and they removed it, but
I
it
don't-
almost seems like it's gonna start growing back.
I don't think they removed it. It might have been just painted over. Now I think
Yeah.
because it did grow back like instantly.
Instant.
So
Oh,
yeah,
man.
and there was like a centipede crawling on it. I was like, what? Why?
There was,
Ew!
okay, no, it wasn't a centipede. Centipedes are a lot
It
bigger.
had so
but
many legs.
It was a
It-
millipede?
No,
It had, like-
it was small. It was like this big, like this, and yeah, it just had a ton of either like really long hairs or legs.
It almost looked like silverfish, but I couldn't tell.
like a big silver.
That's gross.
It just sat there though.
It was in
Like,
my
it never
corner, like,
moved.
come on.
It wasn't raised.
Dude,
corner.
honestly, that's worse than ants. Like, I'd
No.
rather have ants than mold.
Yeah, like
And centipedes, I guess.
Okay, that was bad.
this.
Was it only once, though, or was it multiple times
Well, with the
that centipede showed up?
No, it's just that one time.
No,
I
there
think.
was-
Okay,
yeah,
so
there was
that's
one
like a
on,
one-time thing.
Your corner,
What?
not your corner, towards your closet. I did tell you about this before. I was like, hey, I saw a thing moving there, and you didn't really like pay attention to
Whoops! I didn't.
You're probably
I didn't even
wearing
see
it right now.
Oh no!
Could you imagine, like, he wakes up and just a billion centipedes
Oh,
crawl out of you? Yeah, because the centipede laid eggs in your ear.
I have a fear.
You ever
of
hear
bugs,
about
too. It's
stories like that?
the earworm or ear?
No, earwigs?
Yeah, those things. Are
No, that's not
creepy.
even what I'm talking about,
Okay.
though. I'm talking about, like, stories of kids that went out for camping and then a beetle, like, crawled in their ear, laid eggs, and then they, like, went deaf.
What the hell?
That would
I
scare the
know.
shit out of me. Like,
That's why whenever I sleep in a bug-infested place, I always put the covers over my ear, like, just in case.
Really?
Not that that's gonna help, because bugs can get in through the smallest of cracks.
mhm.
I don't know how they do it, but somehow they end up doing it.
They're small creatures.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that, but you're right.
And when you think of like the places that like hamsters can get through too, like they're a lot bigger than bugs and they can get through like the smallest places too.
Okay, I'm gonna blow your mind with a question real quick.
Oh no.
Alright, so hamsters. Other than pet stores and people's houses, where do they live?
Mountains? I don't
The
know.
mountains!
I thought they were.
I thought they
I
lived
don't
in
know.
like holes in like the plains, something like that.
The holes in the plains with
I
other
don't
woodland
know.
creatures. But honestly, like, don't they just seem like inherently a pet?
Yeah.
Like,
they
you
do.
wouldn't find a wild hamster,
I'm pretty sure
I
they're
feel.
mostly domesticated, just like dogs. Because you won't really find dogs in the wild unless it's like some really foreign country.
Really foreign country.
You know what?
Yeah, but you find wolves.
Yeah.
True.
I guess, to be fair, you find mice and rats, so they're relatives. Gerbils. No, wait, they're not called gerbils, they're called rodents. I'm retarded. Gerbils are a type
Yeah.
of rodent.
Wait.
I used to have a hamster.
What about like?
My sister had 2 guinea pigs, and
Really?
fun fact, so she lost one, don't ask me how, and the other one
They're
only
big.
lived for like another year or so,
Oh.
and then years later she was like doing spring cleaning on her room, she took her mattress off her bed, and there was a guinea pig skeleton right under the bed.
Oh my god.
Oh. Did it not
Oh
leave
my
a
God.
smell or anything?
No, amazingly enough, somehow it didn't smell.
Oh
I
god. You would think that like a carcass would have a smell to it.
Yeah,
like
I don't
really
know.
bad one too.
Maybe it did and she just didn't notice, because she was a bit of a slob, not gonna lie.
I really hope there's not a dead rodent in our room. Somewhere, like,
We never checked under our bed. Well, no, when I put the sheets on and stuff.
it's just like in the wall and we don't know about it.
Oh, yo, there's like scratching in the walls on this floor, and I
Really?
think there are like squirrels or something crawling through in between the walls.
Because like our walls don't have like the cinder block like that. It's all like this on our walls. So, right?
Oh, like the plaster?
Yeah.
No, that's where they're I feel in most danger of crawling in through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of wall. Like drywall.
Mhm.
Did you have like a hole patched up next to your bed?
Well, there's a lot of like
Mm.
big spots like this, but it'll be like this big.
Unfortunately, they don't know
like-
what like this means.
Yeah, the listeners don't know
I
what
don't
you're
know how to
saying.
describe
Like the size of your fist. It's like someone punched a hole into it. And they
yeah,
had to
almost
paint
like
it
somebody
over.
punched a hole into the wall, but they had to cover it up.
It was probably one of the centipedes. They punched a hole into the wall, made a nest.
Oh my god, that would be horrifying. They just all start crawling out of the wall.
I don't think you guys realize, like, so much disgusting stuff has happened in every single one of the rooms in all 4 of the halls.
Yeah.
Like, every single residence hall on this whole campus, something gross has happened in almost every single dorm room. So you're literally living in the remnants of essentially a pigsty in
Yeah.
some form, I guess you could say.
Basically. It's like,
Scary to think, like, what kind of fumes am I inhaling?
what is going on in here? Like,
And then there's a bathroom.
The bathroom? Oh yeah, I wear flip-flops because
Yeah.
Yo,
do.
same.
I ain't trying to get athlete's foot or whatever.
like, yeah, every time I'm not gonna go into the bathroom with like socks or barefoot. Like, I have to have some kind of shoe on. Like, I don't know. It's just,
And then you
it's not
see-
as bad as I thought.
when
it
I
would be,
when I
though.
wash the underside of my feet, I have to balance like I'm doing yoga and on the tree, and then I have to scrub my foot
Oh my God.
and then put it right back on my flip-flop.
Mhm.
My flip-flops are always wet. I'm worried that they're gonna get damaged from that because they're not entirely waterproof, but it's worth it because screw gross things.
Yeah.
I believe I told the story on the podcast before, but I had a planter's wart on my foot, and yeah, I don't know where I got it from. Probably karate, if I had to take a wild guess. And that was miserable, so I never want that to happen to my foot again. So I'm being extra cautious. I'm not going outside barefoot or anything radical
Mhm.
like people do for some reason.
Yeah, my mom had the same thing a planters wore, and she said like always wear flip-flop
Yeah.
and stuff because that could happen. Like I'm like I don't want that.
You know, there was a story behind my planter's work where the podiatrist, he was a little bit on the weird side,
No.
and I was expecting to get it like shaved off or something, and he didn't do that. He just put like freeze away on it, and then a couple days later, my mom got a call from the doctor that's like, yeah, Dr. Bradley has left the practice, so
What?
so basically he got fired for something, obviously, and I think I got a fake doctor, honestly.
A fake doctor?
Maybe
Yeah.
I had a foot fetish or something. Like,
Oh yeah.
sorry.
Ew. No, but I feel like he would have been more competent if he had. I mean, he was a nice and funny guy, but
Mm.
I don't know. He's no longer with the practice.
Did you have him for long, or was it just?
No,
that
it was just
time?
one time I went to his
Aw.
appointment, and I scheduled another one with him, and then my mom got the call, so she had to like get a whole new podiatrist.
Gotcha.
And then this is like a whole chain of malpractice that's happened to me. So my what do you call it? A general practitioner?
Yes,
Like
sir.
just a regular old doctor. You see him for whatever.
yeah.
I go to him and for my immunizations for college,
Oh yeah.
and he's like explaining to me, I don't know, something. And at the end of the thing, I shake hands with him, and my mom and I leave. My mom came with me, and then my mom is driving out of the doctor's office, and she's like, "Wait, I feel like we forgot something." And then she's like, "Oh my gosh, was he supposed to give you a shot and he didn't give you the shot? So I didn't even get the shot that I came there for
What?
somehow." And I talked to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot." So the nurse had to give me the shot
How do they
because he was with
forget?
another patient. Yeah, if you're a doctor, how do you forget?
The one thing your patient comes in to
Yeah,
do.
exactly. And the same doctor also like gave my sister some trouble because she was really sick and needed medicine, and she gave her this like weird type of super strong medicine that wasn't for what she had. And then
Oh.
she's like, "Well, why don't you just give me X instead of Y?" And he's like, No, just take the Y." And then after it didn't work, she came back to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I should have prescribed you the X in the first place."
Oh
So
my
a bunch
God.
of he's not a very competent doctor. And then
Oh, there's more.
there's a third doctor that's been like slightly odd. So it was my dermatologist. I don't know if you noticed, but my acne problem has gotten a lot better since I was in high school, and that's because of three things: benzoyl peroxide, clindamycin, and tretinoin. I think that's what it's called.
Yes, it is. I actually
And
know
anyway.
exactly what those are.
Yeah. And so I've been using all three of them on my face daily, and it's worked phenomenally. However, my current dermatologist is not the person who prescribed that to me. I had a different dermatologist, and then I moved, so I'm going to finish this story, and then we'll
Yeah,
move on
that's
to
fine.
moving, I guess.
Yeah.
So remember that word. So I moved and got a new dermatologist, and then this one, like the first time I came in, she's like, "Okay," and everything goes well, except when I go to pick up my prescription, there's something missing, and then my mom calls to make sure something didn't go wrong, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to prescribe it to you."
What?
And then the second time I come into the same office, should have quit right there, but no. She walks in and she's like, "Have we met before?" And I'm like, "Yes, we have. It was like only a month ago."
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, so what college are you going to?" I'm like, "Rutgers, New Brunswick." And then she's like, "Oh, I graduated from Rutgers, Newark." And in my head, I'm thinking, "Yeah, you've told me that before. You told me that last time." And then she's like, "It's the carjacking capital of the country." And this time I say out loud, like, "Yeah, that's what you said last time." Because I want her to know that I'm onto her BS.
Yeah.
And then she forgot something again. Like, the audacity of this woman. So, obviously, she's not my dermatologist anymore. But I realized something. So my sister went to the doctor's office one time, and she walked in, and it was a new doctor's office because we had just gotten our health insurance changed, and the doctor walks in acting like she knew her. She's like, "Hey, Alexa, how are you doing?" And she's like, "I've never met you before." I don't think she said that out loud to her.
Yeah.
But then I realized, if you're a doctor, you have so many patients to juggle and keep track of. Everything is a lie. Like, when they act like they know what's going on, they're just checking off the notes they wrote to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
At least to some extent. So then I thought, you know what, this woman is obviously a bit defensible because she's probably juggling a lot of things, and she can't be expected to remember every single person, so I'm okay with it. But then I think about it for a little longer, and I'm like, but no, it's not okay, because every doctor I've had up to that point has maintained the illusion successfully. This one obviously didn't do sufficient note-taking or something and messed it up. So, no, you're still a bad doctor. Screw you.
Got some bad luck with doctors.
Yeah, I know. My whole medical life. Luckily, I've never gotten like severely injured or sick. So, but if I had, who knows what kind of awful thing? Yeah.
You go to the ER.
It scares
and,
me
can't
because
do anything.
you know how when you start doing something for the first time, like you start working a new job or whatever, you're really just winging it for a little while.
Yeah.
Alright, so doctors do that for like years on end because it takes years of experience to become a good doctor. So odds are, like, eventually you will encounter a doctor who doesn't quite know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I never thought about that. It is kind of scary. Like, you could be set up with a doctor that not barely knows anything about what's going on, but hasn't had much experience at all.
Yeah. And, obviously, like, people become doctors every year, so you're bound to run into one eventually. You're not gonna always have an experienced doctor that doesn't make logical sense. Someone has to start them off.
I actually had like a dentist that somehow gave me an ear infection. Literally
What?
an hour after she did it, like messed with my teeth, and I was like, "Wow, guys, my ear is like really swollen."
Oh my
How
gosh,
does that
that's nuts.
Apparently, like while they were doing stuff with my teeth, right? You know how your mouth fills up with whatever's in there, all that junk, and some of it leaked into my ear apparently. Like, and then I was like, "Hey guys," I was still like 9 at the moment. So I didn't really want to speak up while stuff was in my mouth because I was like, "Ah ha 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 ha," and then they wouldn't understand me. They're like, "Oh, we'll give it candy later," and I'm just like, "All right, whatever."
Free candy.
Okay, guys, did you start the timer again?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I forgot to switch topics.
Moving.
So, moving, yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
I forgot, honestly. So, just go ahead and start moving. I moved a lot in my life. I moved, I originally lived somewhere in Absecon, in New Jersey, I think, and then I moved to a hotel for like 6 months.
Really?
Then I moved to this house in EHT, which I lived in for quite a while. Then I moved to a different house, also in the same township, and that's probably the house you're most familiar with.
Probably.
I think you've been to my dad's house, because that's...
I've been there once.
Yeah,
I mostly
and then-
came to your mom's house.
Yeah, the mom's house is where you probably remember being. And then, my mom broke up with a boyfriend, moved into her own place for a little while. I'm not sure. I think we weren't really friends at that time for some reason. Probably because we just grew apart a little bit.
Yeah, we were in any classes together for a lot of high school.
Yeah,
For,
yeah.
almost all of high school. We were.
Yeah, pretty much. You're right about that.
Mhm.
So, how could we be expected to keep up with our little kids, basically?
Yeah.
And then, moved back into the other house, my mom's, what I call my mom's house, the third house I moved into. I'm explaining it in a really confusing way because I don't want to give away the addresses and stuff. And then I moved into my current house in Cherry Hill, and then I moved into college.
Yeah.
So now I'm here. So hi. Yeah, I've moved a lot. You kind of grow into it a little bit. It's almost fun. You get to lift heavy boxes and pretend that you're buff. Yeah. I'm actually like, I know I have like little noodle arms, but I'm actually really good at lifting things, I feel. It's just, I can't like do bicep curls. So maybe my triceps are really strong and my biceps are just weak as heck. I don't know.
I know nothing about this. Ray knows a lot more
Yeah,
than
maybe
I
I
do.
should get a fitness buff on this podcast.
You should
Let
go
me
to
know.
the gym. Probably this
Both
kid.
of us.
He needs
We
to
all
go
should go to the gym.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I feel like you already do.
I already
Yeah, he
do.
does.
Well, I haven't gone in like the last 2 months since college. But this
Yeah.
guy, on the other hand, I think he needs to because he's gonna do fencing, right? But they require him to go to the gym, however many times.
If you're on the competitive team, yeah, you have to have a workout or something.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know
you
if
better
it's
get on
weekly or
there.
yeah. Well, like I don't even know if I'm on the team yet. So
Okay. And you know what? Go figure. The one person who's worked out is the one who's had a girlfriend ever.
I have a girlfriend.
Oh
Right.
shit! My B, my B. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, I
ever told
remember.
you,
I remember
so-
seeing you with her, and Bradford texted you like, "Leave room for Jesus," like walking
Yes,
by.
you did.
Yeah. Okay. I knew that. My bad. So, of all the people, the host, who is the most charismatic, has not had the
No.
girlfriend.
You're
So, it's okay. My day will come, I'm sure,
will.
eventually. I feel like whenever I mention that, people feel bad for me, but honestly, if you do, don't. It's almost entirely my fault. Actually, the one opportunity I had to really have a relationship in high school was freshman year, and I dropped the ball,
Oh.
Like, instead of dating her, I ended up making fun of the fact that she wore high-waisted jeans that looked like mom
No.
jeans. And they
You
did.
roasted her.
Yeah. And she's hot, but I roasted her anyway. Yeah. And that's my romantic life in a nutshell. Sophomore year onward. Well, sophomore year was that weird year that I talked about last time, and you can listen to it and find out yourself what I did sophomore year. Yeah, episode 8. This is episode 9.
Oh,
We're going in order.
almost at double digits. Next one.
Oh yeah, no, the Big Ten.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do something really special for the
Celebrate.
Big Ten. Okay, I haven't figured out what yet, but it's
100
it's gonna happen.
co-hosts.
Oh yeah. Maybe then there'll be no dead air.
Yeah.
We were talking about moving. Have any of you guys
Yeah.
ever moved other than into college?
In the past year, I have moved twice. At first, because my parents got separated, and my mom moved into Ocean City, and it was actually really nice. But we didn't stay for the summer because that's hella expensive.
Yeah.
But the winter was actually really nice to live in. It was enjoyable. And now my mom has a new house that she's moving into tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Actually.
Happy moving day.
Yeah. So I won't see that until next weekend or the weekend after or something, but it's cool.
I think the one time I moved was from China to here, but I was still a fetus at the moment.
A
So-
fetus.
At the moment.
At this very moment, I am still a fetus.
To this day,
Yeah.
I have not escaped the fetal stage.
Sounds familiar.
You're always just crawling up into like a little position.
This is what a fetus looks like at 6 months. Still think
Yeah.
abortion should be allowed?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. I just brought up like a really heavy topic from a very lighthearted one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get into it because it's a complicated issue.
It is.
Except some people be like, it's simple. All you have to do is legalize it because women have the right. And if you believe that, I'm not trying to mock you. In fact, I agree with you. But yeah, I'm not getting into it, into the argument. I mean, statistically, one of us doesn't believe that abortion should be legal.
I don't
Just
really have a stance.
statistically.
It's
Are you?
No.
Oh my gosh. My sister asked me about my political views yesterday, and I have no idea why, but I basically told her that I don't fall into any pre-made category like Republican or Libertarian or Tea Partyist,
Tea Party.
Green Party, I don't even know, Democrat. I'm nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I am literally just myself, and I think that's how everyone should be. But no.
We have to have like
We have to be
feel
super
part
partisan.
of like a
Yeah.
group.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Mm.
Honestly, I think I'm an innovator because I've devised a way for taxation to work that works best for literally everyone. All right, so listen, let me lay it on you. All right. So right now, what we have is incremental tax brackets. So if you make over a certain amount, you'll have to pay a larger percentage of tax.
Right.
I think that's BS because if I make $31,999, I should not be more wealthy than my neighbor who makes $32,000 and ends up paying more taxes because he's in a higher bracket. That's ridiculous. So what it should be is a continuous function of your income. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that instead of having like a bunch of leaps of taxes, you gradually have to pay more and more taxes as you become richer. And some may say, well, that's still not fair because the rich people should be wealthier and shouldn't have to pay more taxes just for being richer. But think about it this way. The richer you get, the more money that you can make. As you get more money, it becomes easier to make more money. In other words, it grows exponentially. So, through this continuous taxation, it will instead grow linearly as it should. This will not only cause severe deflation, which will shift the supply curve highly outward and benefit everyone by reducing inflation and also, increasing GDP. But think about it in the case that you start losing money, and the more money you lose, the less money you will be losing because you don't have to pay as much taxes.
Right.
Literally, can you come up with an argument against that? Other than it's impossible to implement. Because it is.
Jake Theory 2020. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Jake Theory versus Kanye West. Right now.
Oh my gosh, Kanye West, I'm not voting for that man. I don't like him. And his music is... I guess it's good if you're into his genre, but I don't.
I like
I'm
his
not into
music,
that
but
genre.
yeah, he's an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
I can't support his personality at all.
It's okay though. I've always been of the opinion that you should separate an artist from their work. Like, even if the artist is the worst person ever and literally murders people, if they make some good-ass paintings, you should be able to call that a good painting without getting any flack for it. Dang.
That was deep.
Well, I mean,
It relates to what's going on with that with one of the big rappers, at least XXX
Temptation? Oh, yeah.
With his case going on, but...
Can you explain it for the audience if they're not
his
aware?
case?
Yeah.
It was like he kind of like hooked up with a girl that he kind of became his girlfriend. I think she like left her boyfriend at the time for him because he's a star. Everybody like likes him, or like the edginess.
Yeah.
And she was almost basically held hostage in his apartment.
Oh my
while
gosh.
he not tortured her, but in ways kind of mentally scarring and physically scarring her. And now she's bringing up a case against him, which there's like a 10-page like description of just her talking about what happened.
Oh wow.
Like, it's big.
Awful.
I don't know.
I didn't know that. All I heard was that like he beat women apparently, which I'm like, oh, another rapper beating women. That's just great.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah. So it's basically the reverse of what happened with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
You know about that?
No.
He somehow ended up goading a bunch of women into staying in his house or something, and then he kept them in his basement and made them join his cult? Question mark? I don't know. The details are a little fuzzy, but I think I got the gist. So basically, he's a real creepy dude. And this is like a couple years after the whole peeing on a girl debacle that happened. So
R. Kelly's a card.
Yeah.
Poor R. Kelly. Just kidding. He deserves everything.
Yeah.
He's an awful person. Although trapped in the closet's kind of cool as a concept, I think.
closet.
You know what Trapped in the Closet is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Wanna
Ray?
explain it?
Okay, so it's basically like a series of songs that all follow the same tune, but they all tell a story, and the dialogue is like interwoven into the lyrics, and they have music videos associated with them. So they're pretty cool. Like he'll be like, and I was in the closet, and this guy walked in. I don't know.
I remember
Like-
Trapped in
okay.
the Drive-Thru.
Oh, Stuck in the Drive-Thru is
They're
the
stuck
Trapped
in-
in the Drive-Thru, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Trapped in the Drive-Thru,
Yeah.
Stuck in the Closet. But
Yeah.
Trapped in the Drive-Thru is the best.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. I remember we watched that at your house multiple times.
Best.
It was so good.
Weird Al's the man.
Mhm.
He's funny.
Sad he doesn't really make anything anymore, make music.
What do you mean? He
Doesn't
does,
he?
yeah.
Really? I thought he like kind of made a comeback like 2 years ago or whatever, and then just kind of faded off.
No, the
again.
comeback is still going on
Really?
strong, yeah.
I haven't heard it then.
Alright, well,
I need to look into that.
yeah. I don't know if he's done original stuff recently, because he used to do both originals and parodies.
Mhm.
Honestly, I like his parodies better than his original stuff, because his original stuff is like bluegrass, almost folksy type of music. Polka.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's actually called.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard of that genre.
Polka?
Polka? Like the dots?
Yeah.
Basically, imagine, you know what the instrument, the accordion is?
Yeah.
Alright, imagine that as the dominating instrument, and that's polka.
How does that even? Okay.
It's true, yeah, that's why I could describe it too. Like,
It's almost like country mixed with tango, mixed with traditional Russian music.
traditional.
I don't know how to describe it in other words. There are a lot of very interesting music genres. Someone on the floor was earlier playing some smooth jazz,
Really?
and it's weird because I didn't think him a smooth jazz type of
Mhm.
person, but I like smooth jazz. Honestly, I don't think there's anyone who doesn't like it. Like nobody finds it unpleasant sounding
Yeah,
like
no-
with other genres.
Never heard anybody say I hate smooth jazz. Like,
Yeah.
you're like,
Now, freeform jazz is a different story because freeform jazz sucks. You know how music is supposed to be the composition of sounds into structured,
Yeah.
rhythmic,
Yeah.
you know. Freeform jazz is freeform, so it has none of that. It just sounds like a bunch of people blaring noisy instruments.
Is that what they play at like fancy restaurants? I think I know what you're talking about.
No, at fancy restaurants, they all usually play like soft jazz or maybe some ragtime, perhaps. Although maybe your restaurants are way fancier than the ones I've been going to. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I've never been to a fancy restaurant really.
yeah, same.
The closest that I've been is the library, now known as LB1, which is pretty fancy, not gonna lie, but it's not nearly rich people fancy.
Fancy.
Yo, shout out to Iggy Azalea. Remember that song?
yeah. It
Oh, you could
blew
go
up
ahead and
with
start.
it.
Yeah.
That song was
That's
so popular at the time.
I know, everyone knew all the words and everyone hated Iggy Azalea at the same time. It was
Mhm.
weird.
It is a weird time. Like, there's so much criticism of her and stuff. Like, and I agree with it, but like, it is like so catchy and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if your song is actually catchy and also doesn't get annoying after a couple listens, then I have respect for the song you've made. Even
Yeah.
like a lot of people, they try to say, "Oh, there's no complexity in the composition. It has no soul.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of people in corporate offices making soulless music." And while I agree that a lot of music does give off the soulless vibe, and that kind of kills it for a lot of people, including me in many cases, I also don't think that should be the only thing emphasized. I think there's a lot of music that has a lot of soul that also sucks.
Mhm.
And in a similar vein, a lot of very soulless music that is still good despite being soulless.
Yeah, like, I don't know. The music right now is or like at least like the most popular songs right now are interesting. I feel like there wasn't much
Who's popular
diversity.
right now? There's Ed Sheeran, who's like okay, but
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of his stuff or him.
Like,
Although I've heard he's a pretty nice dude.
I
Just-
like Shape of You. Castle on the Hill just got repetitive for me. Like, after I kept hearing it, I was like, please, stop.
I
know.
don't even know that song. I haven't listened to songs on the radio in
Mhm.
over 5 months, I would say.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. Last I checked, the Chainsmokers were the biggest
Oh, I
thing.
hate them.
Every one of their songs sounds the same.
Exactly, I hate the Chainsmokers. And their new album was so bad. It was-
Did you buy it?
No. I
Okay.
just watched, like,
Why
I listened
is
to it, or a couple, I didn't listen to the whole thing, I listened to a couple songs, and I watched a couple reviews that people
So
had.
in other words, you listened to one song a couple of times.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my gosh. When I drop my mixtape, that's gonna be some fire music. I can't give a date on it yet, but it's coming, trust me.
It's coming.
Did you make a rap for some school project? I feel like
You
you
I
made
did.
a
made
lot.
2 raps
You
for
did?
school
Wait, really? I
projects.
thought there was more than that.
There might have been a third that I just forgot about, but there are 2 significant ones. One is the rap of the House of Usher, and the other one is the Great Gats.
Was I there
I
for
thought you
it?
made someone
I was
like
there for that.
science in 8th grade or
Oh, yeah.
7th grade or something, though. I don't know.
You know what? You might be onto something. I feel like you're right, but I'll get back to you on
Mhm.
that if I figure it out. Anyway, go to soundcloud.com/jakester897.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, and the first 2 episodes of this podcast are also on there if you want to listen that way for some reason. Did you know that SoundCloud is going out of business though?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if they've been bought out by someone, but last I heard they were running out of money.
I didn't know that.
So no more SoundCloud rappers. They're gonna move to Bandcamp, I guess.
Bandcamp. I've like literally never been on Bandcamp.
Yeah, most people hear Bandcamp and they think like an actual camp
Mhm.
where you play instruments, but Bandcamp.com. It's where a lot of indie artists sell their music, and you can also like get like free listening on there too. Do you know what Siva Gunner is?
Never heard of it.
Damn. Go. It's not gonna make any sense when I explain what I was gonna say though. But they use Bandcamp. In case someone in the audience does know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. The last time I tried to hear like experimental music, I don't know. You sent me something that was pretty interesting.
What
That,
did I
that that's
send you?
considered music. Remember, you just played it on my computer, and that was like the
Oh,
weirdest.
that was that wasn't because it wasn't his song.
Oh.
There's a YouTube channel, I forget what it's called, but he just goes to like popular songs or like movie scripts and he just screams every lyric. And
Huh? What's the music?
like the one I played on him was Magnolia by Playboy Cardi, if you know the song.
Oh.
And it's just him screaming every lyric to the song.
You said movie scripts. I think that was a flub of the tongue. So
Oh, no,
I thought you were saying like he did like
The beat.
He did.
movie scripts.
He screamed every all the dialogue to like the B movie.
No,
There was more.
Chill.
Some theme songs like the SpongeBob, Drake and Josh. I think he just screams every lyric. It's great.
I'm not gonna lie,
If you're
he
able to
has
find
talent.
it.
He has talent.
No, like he doesn't lose his voice throughout the entire thing at all. He just
Yeah, that's a
screams
talent.
Yeah.
so hard.
Yo, screaming in music, I don't get it, but it is a talent. You had to have the voice, and you had to be able to keep it too.
Yeah, like
So, screamo artists, shout out to you guys for impressing me mildly. Although your music sucks, like come on.
I was never a fan. I just can't get into it. Like I don't know. It's just me personally.
Yeah, I feel you. I have listened to some heavy metal that I've liked. What did it for me was the song Painkiller by Judas Priest. Before that song, I didn't understand why people liked heavy metal. That song made me understand why people like heavy metal. So now I can listen to it and listen to the things that make it enjoyable. You know, Miss Blake from
Yeah.
she's a heavy metal fan.
Really?
Yeah.
I never really.
She's
I
the
never
one
would
I
have thought
get.
that.
Yeah. I did not expect that either,
so
but
confused.
apparently, yeah.
Maybe it's like a chemistry pun.
No, it's definitely not. Oh my gosh.
I think I have heard of that band though. We just said
Judas Priest?
I think
Yeah.
I've heard of
And
them.
of course Metallica, like
Well, yeah.
and I don't know if they're considered heavy metal, but Iron Maiden, they also make some hype songs.
Like,
Ram Jam too.
mhm.
They're definitely not metal, but
There's like a kind of like rap heavy. Well, I wouldn't say heavy metal, but kind of like I don't know. It's interesting. They're called Death Grips.
oh, I
Like,
loved
oh.
it. I mean, I'm not gonna say I love them, but I like the song Guillotine.
Guillotine?
Yeah.
It's a good song. Like I like
It goes,
them.
it goes, it goes.
Yeah.
Even though it's really bad music, if you actually listen to it, I don't know. I think it's cool. And his music videos are
Mhm.
low budget, whack as hell. Like,
I think I did see one video where like the back of the screen was literally just it was like a green screen except it was just like
Is
grayed
he in a
out and it was
car?
like really fuzzy and he was driving a car. And he
Yeah,
was just
Yeah, that's
yelling
Guillotine.
that.
Guillotine.
it goes, it goes, it goes, it goes. It
Like
goes,
I
it goes,
like
it
the
goes,
music,
it
but
goes,
like
it
it's
goes.
so weird. Like I don't
It
know.
is a very strange style. I wouldn't
Like,
call
I'm
it.
starting to get into it.
I wouldn't
though.
call it metal at all, though.
Yeah, I know. It's I don't know what to call it though.
Yeah, he's an innovator.
Yeah. I think there's 3 of them in the band. Like he's the only rapper though. The other guys do the music and
Yeah.
production and stuff. I guess I don't know.
I don't know. I could never see myself like listening to a Death Grips album, but the song
Apparently
Guillotine
they're
is
good,
okay.
Though.
I've heard
Like
people do that.
Yeah, they do, but I couldn't see myself as the thing.
Mhm.
It's not the kind of music I would sit down and listen to independently of any other things going on.
yeah, because the people that are like into that, they say that the albums are actually really good.
Yeah,
Like,
I've heard.
Death Grips.
I've heard too. You know Anthony Fantano,
Yeah, I watch
the internet's #1 music critic.
he rates
He
them,
likes
right?
get he loves Death Grips.
Because he rates like rap, pop, metal, rock.
Yeah.
That's like his genres. So like it falls in there. Like I don't know.
I
But,
pop. Ugh.
yeah, like
Pop grosses me out.
there's some pop artists that I can handle and that I don't mind, but it's not my thing.
What even is pop? Because it used to mean like whatever music was popular at the time.
Mhm.
But now in this age where people are getting music from billions of different sources and websites and anyone can go out and make their own album, can you really say that any music is pop?
I don't know. Like it's almost just like become its own genre over
Yeah,
time.
like a very bubbly sort
Yeah,
of sounding.
True. I guess that was the popular music at the time, so they kept that name with it or
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. What they called pop in the 80s, they now call classic rock, I think. Also new wave.
Mm.
New wave is garbo music mostly. There are a couple of new wave songs that I kind of enjoy, but a lot of it is very samey sounding and not interesting at all.
Mhm.
My mom's boyfriend owns a record store, and he's very well versed in music, and he's the one who likes freeform jazz, which sucks because he plays it in the house. But I feel like he has a good taste anyway, and he hates new wave too. My mom loves it, and will sometimes try to play it, and he'll be like, "Can you turn that shit off?" And then when he plays the freeform jazz, everyone else in the house is like, "Can you turn that shit off?" Headphones would solve every dilemma we've ever had in the house, but for some reason nobody's thought of that solution.
Oh God.
Headphones. I got a brand new pair of Philips Bass Plus headphones for only $5. They're normally $50, but
Oh.
there was a little clearance tag on this particular pair, and there were other pairs like in the same on the same hook
Yeah.
that were $50. So I got the one pair that was $5.
Really?
It was amazing.
Nice. Are they like, broken in any way or?
Nope, they work perfectly and they're pretty good overall.
Huh.
Yep. So cheap ass headphones. Go to Target and find them.
Target.
You have to
Target
get
has
lucky
everything.
though.
Yeah.
Get lucky and go to Target.
A lot of like the cheap pairs of headphones that I find just like the quality is terrible on them.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Like, I usually just kind of stick to like Skull Candy and I'm fine with it. So.
Honestly, as long as I can hear the music and it doesn't sound like complete garbage, I'm okay.
Mhm.
A lot of people care about stuff like, oh, it doesn't account for these base wavelengths, so
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to get the full sonar experience.
Mhm.
Like, come on, my dude. Audiophiles, they're called. It's just a couple of letters removed from the other kind of file that we're all thinking of. Hydrophile is, of course,
Yeah.
what I mean. Molecules that are attracted to water.
Hydrophilic molecule.
Yeah, and there are also hydrophobic molecules, such as in your cell wall, I think? No, wait.
I don't know.
There's a reason we don't take biology in School of Engineering.
Yeah, I guess you're
I'm
right.
taking it.
Unless you're in biomedical engineering.
No.
True.
What is your major?
Marine biology.
Oh,
So
that
I'm in
makes sense.
environmental, like the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences.
Do you have to go to other campuses a lot for the
Mhm.
classes?
Well, it's mainly Cook and Douglas I have to go to.
Oh yeah,
And then I have one class in Livingston that's XPOS. So.
hear this. I have logic on Cook Douglas, and I go there, but then I find out it's a one of those living learning classroom type things. So you can sit there, and then the teacher is video chatting from another room
Oh my god.
with a bunch of students in it as well. So I'm like, okay, where is this room? It's on the same campus I live at. So I took the bus. I take the bus for no reason.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it kind of
Aw.
sucks, but it's okay. I just go to whichever one I feel like, unless it's a test day. Then you have to go to the one you're assigned to, because he only prints out exactly as many tests as they need.
Gotcha.
The first test was so easy. I obviously passed, but 77 people failed and 35 passed, I think, was the count.
Really?
Which I had no idea that many people would even be capable of failing that test.
What?
Oh.
I don't know, maybe I'm just very logically minded, but I find the material very simple, especially since it was supposed to be a very easy exam. It's a level 1 exam. You have 4 levels that had to pass by the end of the semester, and you get an A.
Huh.
Oh, how he has the class set up is actually pretty cool. So, as I just mentioned, you have 4 levels of exams. Each one has 5 sections. You had to get 60 or higher on all the sections to pass, and you also had to get an average of 75 or higher. So, yeah, overall, not the hardest passing conditions, but you're gonna get whooped if you don't study.
Right.
But on the first exam, I didn't study at all because he basically told us exactly what was going to be on the exam.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 3 sections were rote memorization, and the last 2 were really easy to figure out. So I don't, like, how did people go so wrong on the level 1 exam? I don't know.
How are they gonna do on the level 2 then?
But basically, your grade will correspond to the number of tests, exams that you've passed. So level 4, if you pass it, you get an A for the semester. You can hypothetically do that in 4 exam periods and then not go to class for the whole rest of the semester. That's what I'm trying to do. If you get 3, you get a B, 2, you get a C, and 1, you get a D, and none, you failed. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, was that the 4th topic or
Yes,
the
that
3rd?
was
That was
fourth.
4th.
Okay, so that went really fast. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a pretty good episode overall. I think I got a lot of good discussion in there. I made a lot of, you know what? This episode was a lot of me making really good points and elaborating them well. In the past, I've kind of made, like, I've tried to make good points and I didn't really explain them correctly, so they came off as just sounding weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I've developed enough experience to improve that.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys were also pretty great as well. You gave a lot of good input and good ideas. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, before I forget to ask, do you guys remember, between the 2 of you, what the 4 topics were that we talked about?
I remember 3 out of the 4. Wait.
I remember
So chess was
3.
the first
I remember
one.
3.
Uh-huh.
Moving was not the
No.
3rd one or 4th.
You skipped 700.
I know, but
Oh, okay.
700 is one I remember too. What was the 4th one then? Wait.
I'm pretty sure we
Fancy.
only... Wait, what?
Fancy.
Oh, yeah,
Fancy.
fancy. Yeah, that's right. I forgot that was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the last one or was
Yeah, that was the last
That was
one.
the last one.
That I was confused.
I know,
I thought we had
right?
only done 3 topics because I didn't even remember.
Yeah, I completely forgot fancy was the topic.
We moved away from that real quick.
Yeah.
All right, so I know I kind of plugged some stuff in the middle of the episode, which is kind of weird, but I'm going to plug it again. So you want to subscribe to this channel and like the video if you enjoyed what you heard today. Be sure to follow WWWTAA show on Twitter. I'll leave maybe a link in the description. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna do the timestamp thing again that I did for the last episode. This is sort of the season 2 of the podcast. The first 7 episodes were at home. The season 2's in college. I'm making all sorts of improvements. Instead of one static image, it's multiple images.
Nice.
So pretty nice. Do you guys have anything else to say before we wrap up? Anything you'd like to plug? Anyone you want to say happy birthday to? Anyone you want to shout out? Rest in peace, Bobby. I don't know.
Rest in
Bobby.
peace. Wait, that's me.
No.
I'm dead, fam. No, I don't think I need to plug anything. I just made an Instagram, but I don't really. That's okay. I don't need to plug it.
You don't want to. Do you want to say I love you to any family members or girlfriends?
I already. No, I think I'm okay.
All right, fair enough. In that case, if there's nothing else for you guys to say, this has been What Were We Talking About Again? Thank you guys for listening and have a safe yet fun weekend.